Hey everybody, Dr. Kevin Hyde here with Pinellasanxietyspecialists. It's day 24 of the 30 days of live videos, and today I want to talk about chronic pain. Now, chronic pain is not something that we often think about when we're thinking about mental health concerns or seeing a psychologist or another mental health clinician, and that's actually something that psychologists and other mental health clinicians can be very helpful in dealing with because a lot of times pain is not just physical in the body. There is a huge mind component to it. And that's why we always say, anybody that works with me is going to hear me talk about the mind-body connection, because we just know that it's so present. And a lot of the research studies in the medical field are really understanding now that the mental health part of things with treating chronic pain can be just as important as finding the right medication, the right physical therapy, and that sort of thing. So with chronic pain, it is something, whether it is chronic back pain, fibromyalgia, or some other injury, amputation, or another injury that leads to disability or just that ongoing low-level pain, it can be so ridiculously debilitating. I've known people in my life that have chronic back pain, and one day they're completely fine, able to run around and play with everybody, and then do one small thing, hey Val, and it just throws their back out, and then they're stuck on their back for several days. And so there tends to be these periods of being okay and going up, and then something happens, there's a flare up, and they go down, end up needing to take a lot of rest, and so they're not able to accomplish all the things that they really want to accomplish. And so that leads to what we call the chronic pain cycle of avoidance. So knowing that being physically active is going to lead to pain leads people to not want to be physically active. And so they tend to then rest more, not get up, move around as much, and when they do that, their muscles tend to weaken. And so when they do try and do something, they feel good after resting for a few days, they get up and then they push themselves too hard, go beyond what they were actually capable of doing physically, and end up having another flare-up and then needing to rest for a while. And once that cycle goes on enough, people just want to rest. They don't want to get up and be active and do things anymore. And so their muscles really start to degrade, and the pain just worsens because that's really all they have going on, and they just have that time to focus on being in pain and not doing the things that are important to them. And that's the big part of, when we say there's a difference between pain and suffering. If you have some pain that you're able to work through and do meaningful, important things in your life, be with your family, and do important, meaningful work, that is going to be less suffering than somebody who doesn't have as many of those positive things going on, and they just are focused on that pain all the time, complaining about it, in their head, focused on it, what's going on in their body. And so that's where mental health clinicians can come in, right? We can help recognize that there are those mindset issues, that you do have the ability to change your focus, to focus on things other than the pain. And through that, we can also help behaviorally, in that one thing we do is called graded activation or activity pacing. And those are sort of fancy words of saying starting to get yourself to be more active in a way that's not going to lead to those cycles of the ups and downs like a roller coaster like that. So having a plan for yourself to start small and not continue to push yourself until you start to feel the pain. Because once you've pushed yourself till you feel the pain and you feel that you've done too much, chances are you've done too much then, and that is going to lead to that flare-up. But if you are kind of doing a little bit at a time and working your way up over the period of weeks or months, you'll see that your muscle will start to rebuild those muscles that is lost. You'll see that you're able to accomplish a lot more than you thought you were able to accomplish before, and you'll be able to work in those meaningful, fulfilling activities, like we said, that help reduce the suffering part of the chronic pain. And so that's why I'm talking about chronic pain right now, because that is what I, as a psychologist, can help you work on. We can come up with that plan to do that graded activation to get you back to moving your body, because any mental health or physical health doctor will tell you that moving your body is only going to help with the pain. It gets the blood flowing, it gets some of those the chemicals and the hormones in the body that actually help to do some of the recovery going. and it helps reduce the sensation of pain. It may not be right away. It's going to take a while to get to that point, but that's why we go slow and build yourself up to that. We can do that as well as help you with that mental aspect of noticing, being able to notice when you're focused on the pain. Notice those negative stories that your mind has begun to tell you to make you feel like you're incapable of doing a lot of things that may or may not be true, right? It's going to take some experimenting for us to figure out when those stories are true or when they're actually keeping you laying down when you don't need to be. All right, guys, if you have any questions about that, please leave a message, leave a comment below. Give me a phone call, shoot me a message. I'd be happy to talk about it. If you're interested in talking about what this would look like specifically for you, please sign up for a free consultation. We can spend 15 or 20 minutes talking about how your pain has affected you and if there is a roadmap forward for things we can do to help you, again, bring back those meaningful, fulfilling things into your life. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.